Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. Are you ready to get painty? I sure am. That's for sure. I have so many paints out on my desk this morning. I've been just fiddling and playing and all the things. I hope you are raring to go too. I am, let's see. I am ready to get painty with these, with all of these wildflowers from the Wildflower series. Everybody make sure you have a big drink this morning of water. Let's start our day that way by drinking some water. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning, good morning. If you are brand new here, if you would like, follow, comment, and share in Corbiere-Scott Designs, I would greatly appreciate that. On Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and then ask to join our private Facebook group, Stitch Along with Anne and Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs. Stitch Along with Anne is where we do just that. We embroider and chat. Like in this group, we paint and chat. Good morning, Sue. Anyway, for all things Anne and artsy, go to AnneCorbiereScottDesigns.com. Like all of the wildflower art printables that are in the Wildflower series that we're going to be painting and then building with those pieces in our art journals and maybe a few cards. Okay, so we left off yesterday because we had a special pop-in paint party yesterday because of National Random Acts of Kindness Day. And so it was very exciting because we get to paint 2 days in a row, right? So I have started to activate a bunch of different watercolors. Good morning, Vic. Yikes, 2 degrees. Okay, so I wanted to play with the, good morning, Patricia. Hey, Joni. I don't remember if I said that or not, but hey, Joni. I wanted to play with the concept of underpainting. So we started this one, and remember this, I used this Nightclub, which is a bright orange, as my base color for my underpainting for this Golden Poppy. And so there's this whole concept of underpainting, and it's kind of a it's just a different technique, right? You just, like, it's not right or wrong, it's not the best or the worst, it's just different, right? And I just want us to try all the artsy things, right? So the advantage is that you're not starting on a white canvas, and so it takes a little bit of the intimidation factor away, right? And it helps establish values as you're painting. It creates a little more interest when a bit of this peeks through, right? So I've got a couple of different oranges that I want to use to build the, oh, I'm going to sneeze. I can feel it. I can feel it coming on. Oh, goodness. Oh, sorry about that. I have a couple of different oranges that I want to use to build this flower. So we started with the yellow centers of the golden poppy. I like a buttery yellow more than a lemony yellow. I like warm colors with yellow. You know, all us painters, we have different ways of what we look for in a color. Thank you, Vic. I appreciate that. I might have to blow my nose. It's a little allergy-ish this morning. So, like I said, I have many oranges that I'm going to play with. So I want you to just give it a try. You know, just give this concept a try. You may like it, you may hate it. So and just know that you can mix and match watercolors from all the palettes that you have, because I know you have more than one. So I'm just going to use this little, I just get these little dollar store palettes because I can use them when I teach classes, and then I always have one. I always have one at the ready. So I'm taking this sunset orange from my Art of Soil, but you know, you use what you have. And we're going to start to build some layers on this golden poppy. So I started with that bright orange that is almost fluorescent. But then let's come in, and this is a kind of a slow build. I'm just going to start to slowly build. And your base layer, your underpainting layer, always needs to be thin. This is a technique that's usually used with oils and acrylics, but you can absolutely use it with watercolors too. So let's just start to build some color. Just layers and layers and layers of color. Yeah. So pretty. Okay. So I'm going to kind of bring that down a little bit more. Kind of do that jiggy blend a little bit. Good morning, Charmaine. I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd be here, sister. So we're talking about underpainting, starting your painting. So I started this golden poppy with this nightclub, which is quite a bright orange. I started my base color, my underpainting color, with that. And it's nothing like the color of a golden poppy when you see it in real life, but it's this cool base, right? It starts this cool, I just think that an underpainting always adds depth. Ooh, everybody take a drink. Okay, so I started out with that color, and then I came in with this sunset from my Art of Soil. And now in my Josie Lewis palette, there's a really, you know, if you have many palettes of colors, of watercolors, you know where certain colors are. And like this orange is kind of a red orange. And so I knew I wanted to add this, but I kind of wanted to, I didn't want it to be the next layer. I wanted it to, I didn't want it to be the start of the show. I wanted it to be, you know, an important player in the show, but not the star. I want the... Okay, let's get some paint from... Like, I have a lot of paint down here, so I'm going to pull from here. Work over here. And just jiggy-jaggy add color. Right? And now I'm going to let that dry just a bit. I'm going to wipe off my brush and then rinse my brush. So I started this process on the saguaro flower. So I had painted the center of this flower with this Comedy Lounge green, which is kind of an olivey green, right? I painted the base of the saguaro flower with that. Then I painted the center, and the outside I used, where I have this green, nope, this finest fennel. I did that. And then remember, I mixed some color here. I mixed 2 greens, and I came up with the base color for here. And then this morning, I went over it with a creamy yellow. And I added, good morning, Peg. Good morning, Kay. And then, so I added, I told you I like a buttery yellow. And if you look at a saguaro flower, you'll notice that it's the center is kind of a buttery yellow. And so I started with that, right? I started with the green, and then I put the buttery yellow on top, and I did a lot of this. I put color down, and then I came in with a wet brush, let it sit for a minute, and you'll see, like, even just doing that, you're pulling some of the color up. And you that's what I kind of like, doing it layer by layer by layer. And then take your paper towel and dab off. And then you're just going to lighten it just that little bit, and then continue to grow that center. Okay, I'm getting some of that yellow. You can see this yellow it's pretty opaque, but I want it to be translucent, transparent, whatever. So I'm going to tap, 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 right? And then I'm going to come over here and just tap, tap, tap some of that yellow. I know that I want this edge, that like the center of the flower comes up like that. I want this to be super yellow, and then I want it to be kind of green as it goes down. So I'm going to just let that sit for a little bit. Okay, my oranges are starting to dry, and so now I can rinse my brush, tap it off, and come in with a jiggy-jaggy blend. Right, so and the jiggy-jaggy blend just really softens the edge, right? And by softening the edge, oh, that was way too wet. We are just creating a nice gradation of color. The way my light is, I have to kind of tilt my head. I'm having to really be mindful of making sure that I don't have too much water on my brush. And you'll also notice, I'm sure, that I did not go all the way to the edge of my petal. That kind of creates this, like right here, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bit of a light corner. We want to keep that because we want, remember, we want those petals to look like they have form. If it's solidly painted, it's not going to look like it has as nice a form as if it has gradations of color and value. And so we want to kind of work on making that happen. And the Jiggy Jiggy blend will kind of help with that. And remember, turn that substrate, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, so that it's comfortable for your hand. Because see, here I want this Jiggy Jiggy blend to go from all the way up here at the tip of the petal. I want the deepness of color to go, I'm sure that that's not a technical term, but I want it to fade right into this, the center of this little, this little section of this petal. I want that deeper orange to go right down in there. And some of it I want to stay at the tippity top. Right? More blendy, blendy, blendy. And golden poppies are that. So I was, as I was drawing these, I was thinking about, well, you know, I just love wildflowers. I just love them. I just love them. Remember we talked about how cool it is when some of that base color, that underpainting color, stays in the center of the flower, right? So look at, we still have lots of that color right down here in the, look, in the bowl of that flower. I don't know if it's really called a bowl, but you know what I mean. I just want to continue to soften those edges. Oh my gosh, Jeff and I started to watch this show last night. And it is called, let me think for a second. What was the name of it? Oh, The Sticky. So it's the story about maple syrup in Canada and the maple syrup industry. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. So if you get a chance, check it out. I think it was on Netflix. Yeah, I think it was Netflix. I'll look and see, but I think it was Netflix. I had the craziest dream last night, you guys. I dreamed, oh my gosh, I'm loving this flower. It's making me so happy. That is making me so happy. Okay, so I had this dream last night that I was driving in, you know when you have a dream where you are in like an old familiar place. So there used to be a scrapbook store that I taught at for years. And it was on 67th Avenue and Happy Valley Road. And in my dream, I was driving on 67th Avenue and Happy Valley Road. Anyway, in the dream, I get to, well, there were a couple weird things. Well, you know, dreams, everything's weird in a dream. But in the dream, there was this horse running through the parking lot, like loose. And then I noticed a guy was kind of chasing after this horse. That was kind of weird. And I was afraid that, and there was a giant horse trailer. And the giant horse trailer, like, could hold like 8 horses or something. I don't even know if that's real. Like, if horse trailers can be that big. I don't know. Anyway, so this guy is chasing this horse, and I'm afraid he's going to be mad and be mean to the horse because the horse ran away. And you know what? He wasn't mean at all. He got to so the horse ran right into the trailer after running around the parking lot. And, sorry, I gotta get my little stream of color all the way down. And then the guy got all the horses to lay down in the back of the horse trailer. Weird, I know. Anyway, so then I go into this little like convenience store, and I see this lady behind the counter, and she is putting bread ties on something, you know, the little tags, and she has a whole bunch of them. It was crazy. And they were all different colors, and I was like, oh my gosh, do you guys have more of those? Because I'm an artist and I make stuff out of bread ties. And she gave me like an armload of bread ties and all different colors, and some were clear, and oh my gosh, you guys, I woke up so happy from that dream. Who knows? I'm sure there's some kind of crazy meaning to that, but it just made me happy. It just made me so happy. Oh my gosh, you guys. These poppies are making me happy. So happy. Oh, I am loving them so much. And you know what's so crazy? So you know that center was that bright orange, or the underpainting was bright orange. And it's so funny because it looks almost white over here, but that bright orange was all the way down to the center of the flowers. Fascinating, right? Okay, so let's paint more underpainting. I'm going to cut. I did go and made some notes for myself. Okay, I made some notes of color notes. So this, I want to come in and and deepen the green. I want to deepen the green, more greenish, to this saguaro flower. So I have a couple of greens. So I have my Josie Lewis green over here. I'm going to put some of that on here. So my underpainting is this kind of an olivey color, right? Let's just come in just a little bit. So slowly building. Yes! This is making me so happy. Slowly building. Slowly, slowly. And I've been doing these little bitties down here. The power of an underpainting is kind of incredible. Oh my gosh, look at it. I'm loving it so much. So another thing I was thinking, I think I want to come in with a little bit of this green and add it to the very center of the saguaro flower, and it's not really, now I'm coming in with a wet brush and pulling some of that color away, tapping it off, because I just want to give the hint of some green. And saguaro flowers, the petals are quite waxy and yellow, but they have this like almost like just a tinge of green around the edge. So let's kind of play with that idea. So has anybody else had crazy dreams like that? Or do you remember your dreams? I absolutely remember my dreams. Tessa and Lauren and I had this huge conversation about if you remember your dreams or you don't remember your dreams. So are you a dream rememberer or not? Everybody take a drink. Ba-ba-ba-ba. So I want to take some of that green and really, really, really water it out. You see, I'm really, really watering it out. And I want to do just the bittiest bit. And I'm just taking some from those watery edges. You're a rememberer and not? Is that what you're saying, Peg? So let's get just a bitty bit of that green, because we that green, we just want that. So now I'm going to start to kind of go around and pull the excess green off. Let it sit there for a second or two. And now I'm just kind of taking my brush in and moving that color around and then pulling off the excess. Do you see what I'm saying? Because we want those petals to look like they have nice form, that they really curve. And that's often depicted by the color changing. Oh, Vicky, I totally get that. I totally understand that. Because sometimes I too have like, did I dream that? Or did... Okay, so now let's pull. Yes! Shut up! Look at it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. Like that totally. Okay, now I'm going to jiggy blend just a little bit. Just a little bit. Stop it. I'm loving that. So let's leave that guy alone. Now let's come over to the Mayflower. And did you know that the Mayflower, the Mayflower, when the Pilgrims came across, they saw it in abundance in the area around Plymouth Rock where they landed. And so that's how it became the state flower for Massachusetts. And did you know that it's the provincial flower of Nova Scotia? It has pink petals and a yellow center and greener leaves. So we have this color down for our base color, and now let's come in with that a little bit little bits more of that green. See what happens. And we want little bits of that underpainting to just kind of shine through. You're going to get so much depth in your paintings. And I'm overshooting the lines because I'm going to fussy cut, and I don't really care. I don't really care if it, you know what I mean? If it, oh, so pretty. If I went out of the lines. Makes me kind of happy. Okay, so let's get some pink going for the Mayflower. So I'm going to take my pipette, and I have a really nice pink here in the Josie Lewis. So I'm going to get some water in there. And, well, let's just start with that. See if we can work some underpainting. Oh, you know what? We have this karaoke bar. Let's continue with our fluorescent starts. So let's go with this karaoke bar. And we're going to let that water, you know, sink into that pigment, right? And then we're going to, so that it can start to activate that color. These are yellow. And the very center is kind of yellow. So, I'm going to take, let's see, this needs to dry before, because I'm afraid it's going to touch other things, and that will just make a big smear, and we don't want a big smear. So I have my gel pens right here, and I was thinking about souffle. That's not what I wanted to do. I've been thinking about doing some black with gel pen work in the very center of my poppies. So let's. So I'm varying the size of my dots. Some are bigger, some are like barely a dot with the end of my pen, like barely touching the paper. I'm going to kind of go up these little tendrily things. But we want those different sizes. Yes! This is making me so happy. Look at that. So pretty. So I like to go in and do my big dots first, and then just start to fill in around them, and that gives me a little more continuity, like it looks a little more natural. When you look at flowers in nature, you know they're not all, everything's not all the same color, everything's not all the same size. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, I'm loving this so much. I'm loving this so much. Okay, so I've got all these different flowers started. But we also have, remember this sheet we started on Friday also, or on Monday also. So I wanted to come in. So do you remember I started with that gold from one of those new, was it Soil Mates? Yes, Gallant Ginger. I started with that. And then I came in with my yellow highlighter. And now I want to come in with that warm yellow watercolor. So I'm going to wet my brush, tap it off, and then come in, and then I'm feeling like I just want to come in and brighten. Do you know what I'm saying? Just dot, 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 dot. And by doing this, I'm kind of creating some more visual interest. And remember when I added the yellow gel pen, or excuse me, when I added the yellow highlighter yesterday, mild liner, like that changed the whole vibe of the flower. Well, this is going to do kind of the same. It's just going to add another level, another layer of yellow, and more depth. But I also want to, so I'm just kind of coming around the edges with dots. I'm kind of digging that. And that just kind of happenstance over here. And I was like, that's kind of a cool idea. Let's keep going with that. Because it's kind of giving an ethereal kind of vibe, which I'm kind of feeling this morning. And, you know, goldenrods, they're so pretty. They're, did you know that they are the state flower for both Kentucky and Nebraska? And they are the state wildflower of North Carolina. And all these little flower heads are yellow. And by doing this one we painted, remember, kind of a dip, right? So there's lots of little white specks, little white spaces that we can add more yellow to. I just think this looks like, I don't know, like little bits of pollen kind of surrounding the flower heads. That's kind of making me happy. And here's the thing, like even if you feel like, oh, that didn't turn out like I thought, like the gold was kind of overwhelming to me when I first started. Like when I first then I was like, you committed to it, you need to continue. And so I have, and you can just build on it. I don't want you to ever feel like all is lost because I put a bad color down. Number one, it's a piece of paper, right? Number two, just continue to think it through. And the more I find, the more I think it through, the more I'm like, oh, you know what? What if I tried a little bit of this? Or what if I tried a little bit of that? And letting go of the idea that I have to finish it right now, this time, right? Do you know what I mean? I don't. I can finish it whenever I want. There we go. loving that, loving that. But I did tell myself, oh, let's take a drink. Yesterday, I had thought about my gel pens. And so I was I have some. The only yellows that I have are really bright, and I just don't know that that's. See, I want that warm, almost like an orangey yellow. So instead, I was thinking I could come in with my my white, right? And that's going to brighten things, right? So I'm just going to do the centers of these flowers and see what that looks like, right? See if that brightens things enough. You have all of these tools in your artsy arsenal, right? Pull them out. Let them help you out. So I'm just going to do white in the center of all these flowers. And then I'll look through my Poscas and see what I have there that can be, that can add some dimension. Remember, always prime that gel pen before you start using it to get the ink flowing. Take your time. There we go. That is brightening it some, but I feel like I'm going to finish the white centers, and then I feel like I want to come in with a Posca maybe. And add some brighter, like maybe I have a Posca that's like that creamy yellow that I'm kind of, that vibe that I'm looking for. But I will say the white centers are individualizing those flowers a little bit more for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like they look kind of like blobby down here, but with the addition of the white, that is really starting to, I don't know if you can see that, making the individual flowers shine just that little bit more. I hope. Little ways to go. Ta-ta! Oh, I'm loving that. And I will just tell you, this larkspur, perfection in my eyes. This red clover, perfection in my eyes. I'm loving both of them so much. So I'm going to set this aside, and let's bring the Mayflower back. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I haven't worked on the... I have the pink jewel fleabane and the lady slipper to work on too. I know, so pull something else out, Peg. Because if I pull something else out, then I'm not tempted to go, well, maybe just a little bit, blah, 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 blah. And when I do that, I'm always mad at myself. Look at this poor paper towel. Just soaking. Crazy. Ta-da! A clean one. A cleanish one. So let's see. We could fiddle with. So I know that the lady slipper, the Mayflower, and the pink jewel fleabane all have pink. So I want to start with working this water into the Josie Lewis pink. It's one of my favorites. It's very reminiscent of, if you are a Daniel Smith painter, or if you're a fan of his paints, opera pink. I love opera pink. Okay, let's add a little bit more water to that, because remember, we want to start with a watery base. Quite watery. Right? Let's tap that off. Dip one more time. And then come in. And I want to start at the outside of my petals. See how it looks when I pull that paint from more painty areas? That's the one I'm kind of digging. Right? So do you remember how we did the edge of these petals? Let's use that same technique. So let's come up and pull some of the excess. Like we put it down and it stained the paper ever so slightly. Then let's bring our brush in and we're going to start to take it away. Take away that excess and then do that jiggy blend. That is making me so happy. The idea of just pulling, just kind of lightly staining the edge of those flowers, or those petals, excuse me. Right? Pull, 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 pull. Now I'm coming in with a wet brush and let's pull a little bit more. There we go. That's kind of where I want that to kind of, that's what I'm kind of going for. So wet brush and tap it off and then even lighten it even more. And then we can build it, right? We can build deeper shades toward the tips of the petals. But we have another one down here, so let's wet our brush again, tap it off, pull a little bit of that pink. I'm just gonna add color. So, does anyone follow an artist called Katie Daisy? I love Katie Daisy. I love her. I buy her calendars every year. I buy Katie Daisy and a Mary Englebright calendar because they always have like really cool sentiments with their artwork. And their artwork is totally different from one another. I just love them. Like this petal right now is making me so happy. So, Tam, for my birthday, we are going on a trip to Portland, Oregon. And did you know that she has a store in a place called Sisters, Oregon? Oh, I want to go there. I want to go there so bad. And she's only open on the weekend, so I need to be strategic in my planning of my trip. Oh my gosh, that is making me so happy. Everybody take a drink. I love her. I love her. Her stuff is so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Let's come back with the... Okay, so we have the pink fleabane, the pink jewel fleabane, and this is part of the aster family. Did you know that? And it is has these pink ray little skinny petals. So, but they're kind of bright pink. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do a watery wash. Oh, that's so cool. Valerie, we need to just plan a trip to Oregon. I'm telling you right now. Because the other day, you told me about a place that's in the opposite direction. Lincoln City. And then I saw Katie Daisy. Okay, so I'm just going to do this wash. This is kind of how I'm going to paint these. And then I will do something to accentuate the little petals. I don't know. Maybe with some gel pen work. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out just yet. But I wanted it to kind of look, I don't know, kind of fluffy. So pretty. In the center, oh, Katie Daisy. Katiedasy. And she is the one, do you remember a few weeks ago, I showed you all a book that Linda Schuldeis got me that is How to Be a Wildflower. Oh, I have so many of her books. And I have so many years of her calendars that I just am. Ooh, Valerie. So I just got mine. So I didn't open it because my one that I got for Christmas, I didn't open it because I really wanted to, play with it with my sister, and then you know what, we ran out of time. So I am doing kind of a light pink wash on this lady slipper. And there are all kinds of lady slippers. And did you know that a lady slipper, this is so crazy, can take years for the seeds to germinate. and then it can take between 10 and 17 years for the plant to bloom. How crazy is that? Okay, so I just did a light pink wash, right? I think I want to deepen down here just a little bit. And a lady slipper, it's so pretty. So it has this kind of, from the orchid family, and it has this kind of it has this pouchy thing right here. And it's sometimes it's called the moccasin flower, and that is after the woodland Indian moccasins, which have a pucker stitch, where this is the top of the like the top of the foot, right? And then where the bottom comes up to meet that, there's a pucker stitch all the way around here that kind of like puckers around that flat piece. And that's usually, typically, that's where the beadwork is. Anyway, they are, there's lots of Indian lore stories about lady slippers and amongst other things. But it just makes me so, oh my gosh. I want to see one in real life. A flower that takes 17 years to bloom. Come on, right? Oh my gosh. And did you know that the, I fill you with all of this crazy information. Did you know that the saguaro blossom is usually between like 3.5 to 5 inches long, and they are open for less than 24 hours. Crazy, right? And the desert in the spring is just, oh, magnificent. It's just magnificent. It's something to see, that's for sure. Anyway, I could tell you so many things about flowers. So the lady slipper is the Minnesota state flower, and it's the provincial flower of Prince Edward Island, and it's the wildflower of New Hampshire. Come on, what could be finer? Not much, I don't think. Not much. Let's see. What can we? Well, we can do some greens, I think. Yeah, it just seems like Oregon is going to be the place to go. So excited about that. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of a watery wash of my leaves and stem on the lady slipper. So if anybody has any place else in Oregon that I should go see in my few days there. Bye, Peg. Have a great day. Let's get some color on these stems. That's making me so happy. You know what? Let's paint some stems on this goldenrod too. I love flowers. I love flowers so much. I especially love wildflowers. So do remember that tomorrow is Stitch Along, and I will continue to work on my wheat pillow that I thought I was going to have more time to stitch on before tomorrow. But I haven't. Maybe I'll do a little bit while I'm watching TV tonight. Last night I was drawing. I have new stuff that I need to send to Adorn It. Oh, look at that. deepen that green just a little bit. Oh my gosh, I'm loving them all so much. I know that this very center, we fly up Thursday, so Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and we come home on Sunday. Yeah, and I want to go to Cannon Beach, and I want to go to Sisters, and I want to look around Portland. Oh, we'll see. Okay, a little bit. So let's get some yellow in the center of these guys. That's making me happy. Let's set that aside to dry. What else do we have? Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm just blabbing away. And it's overtime. Sorry about that. You know what I just noticed? I need to work on this. Put some green on these. So I will bid you adieu. I hope that you learned something and will go out and play with the idea of underpainting. I hope that you will. I hope that you will. I hope that you'll drink all your water and you'll eat some fruit. Eat an apple today. Keeps the doctor away. And then I'll see you tomorrow morning. I know, I totally do need more time there. You're right. Anyway, I adore you all. Thank you so much. I love to go on a trip. I love to travel for my birthday. There's always something new to see, right? So, I adore you all. Thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.